Have you ever noticed how you can be a calm, rational human being right up until the market starts moving fast? On normal days, you can wait. You can follow your plan. You can accept a loss and keep your head. But when volatility shows up with big candles, sharp pullbacks, sudden spikes, something all of a sudden changes inside you. Your heart rate jumps. Your focus narrows. You start watching every tick like it matters. You feel this pressure to act, to do something, to not miss it. And the crazy part is, even if you know exactly what you're supposed to do, volatility can still hijack you. This episode is about why that happens and how to fix it practically so you can trade fast markets without turning into a different person. Because volatility doesn't just change price. It changes you. Here's the first thing to understand. Volatility is interpreted by your brain as a threat, not metaphorically. Literally. Fast movement, unpredictability, sudden changes. Those are the exact conditions your nervous system evolved to treat as dangerous. Your brain doesn't care that this is just numbers on a screen. It cares that the environment has become unstable. So when volatility hits, your system shifts from thinking mode to survival mode. Survival mode has one job: reduce uncertainty as fast as possible. That's why you feel urgency. That's why waiting becomes painful. That's why you start chasing moves that don't fit your plan. You're not suddenly stupid. You're temporarily running a different operating system. And volatility amplifies that shift because it attacks two things traders rely on for emotional stability. 1. Predictability. 2. Time. In slow markets, you feel like you have time to think. You can watch, evaluate, decide. In volatile markets, it feels like decisions are being forced on you. If you don't act now, you'll lose the chance. That sensation, time pressure, is one of the strongest triggers for impulsive behavior. It compresses your patience. It shrinks your standards. It makes you treat maybe as now. Now add predictability. In calm conditions, price moves in ways your brain can track. You can map structure. You can form a story. Even when you're wrong, it feels understandable. Volatility breaks that story. It creates jumps and whips. It creates sudden reversals. It creates movement that has no fair explanation in the moment. And when the story breaks, your brain starts scrambling to regain control. That scramble is what you experience as emotional chaos. You start thinking things like, "It's running without me. I knew it was going to do that. If I don't take this, I'll miss the day. I need to make something happen while it's moving." Those thoughts feel like insight, but they're usually just your nervous system trying to reduce uncertainty. Here's the next key. Volatility also changes what you believe a trade means. On a normal day, you see a setup and you think, this is one opportunity in a long series. In volatile conditions, you start thinking, this is the opportunity. That mental shift is dangerous because it turns one decision into a referendum on your day. And when a decision feels that important, you stop trading your plan and start trading your emotions. So what do? We stop trying to be disciplined inside volatility, and instead we build a volatility protocol, something you follow automatically when the market gets fast. Because if you rely on willpower, volatility will eventually win. Here's the first part of the protocol. Define what volatility is for you. Most traders keep this vague. They just feel it. But if you want consistency, you need an objective trigger. For example, if the last 5-minute candle is larger than X, or if spreads widen, or if I see 3 large candles in a row, or if price is moving too fast to place orders without rushing. Whatever it is, define it. Why? Because naming the state changes the state. When you can say, this is volatility, you stop treating it like normal conditions. You stop pretending you can trade it the same way. That reduces internal conflict. Second, when volatility triggers, Your job is not to catch moves. Your job is to slow your nervous system down, because your body is the thing that's reacting. Here's a simple rule. You do not take a trade within the first 60 seconds after volatility spikes. Not because the market isn't tradable, because you aren't neutral yet. That 60 seconds is a buffer that prevents pure impulse. During that minute, you do one thing. Breathe slowly and widen your attention. The goal is to move from tunnel vision back to full vision. Volatility narrows your focus to the last candle. That's the trap. Widening your attention means zooming out mentally. What is the context? Where am I in the day? What are my conditions? Is this movement part of my plan, or am I reacting to it? That minute saves accounts. Third, reduce decision complexity. Volatility makes you want to do more. More trades, more management, more adjustments. But the correct move is usually the opposite. Simplify. In fast markets, you should have fewer decisions, not more. That can look like one entry attempt per setup, one stop placement rule, one profit-taking rule, no improvisation. Improvisation feels like skill, but under volatility, it's often just emotion disguised as flexibility. Fourth, if you trade volatility, size down automatically. Not because you're scared, because volatility expands your error. In calm markets, a small mistake costs a little. In volatile markets, the same mistake costs a lot. So your size should reflect that. A simple rule: volatility mode equals half size. When your system is activated, smaller size gives your brain space. It reduces the threat level. It keeps you from treating each tick like a life event. Now let's talk about the part nobody likes: missing moves. Because the biggest emotional trigger in volatility is not losing money, it's missing the move. Volatility creates fast opportunity, and your brain hates watching opportunity leave without you. This is where you have to train a specific belief. Missing a move is not a problem to solve. It's a cost of being a professional. If you try to solve every missed move, you will chase. If you chase, you will become inconsistent. So your fix is not catch more moves. Your fix is be okay missing moves. That doesn't mean you don't care. It means you prioritize consistency over excitement. Here's a practice that helps. After a volatile move runs, say out loud, "That move was not mine." Not, "I missed it." Not, "I should have taken it." Just, "Not mine." You're teaching your brain that the market is not a one-chance event, because the market will always provide another opportunity. Your nervous system just doesn't believe that when it's activated. Another important piece: volatility often reveals your relationship with control. When markets are calm, you feel like you can manage outcomes. You can plan, you can execute, you can be good. Volatility reminds you that you can't control much. That loss of control is what creates the internal pressure to act. So the deeper fix is acceptance. You do not trade volatility to control it. You trade it only if your plan already accounts for it. If your plan doesn't, your best move is restraint. And restraint in volatility is a flex. It means you can handle excitement without becoming reckless. It means you can handle uncertainty without forcing certainty. That's rare. Let's make this even more concrete with a quick example. Imagine it's a normal morning. Price is grinding. You're patient. Then a headline hits or liquidity runs, and suddenly the tape accelerates. Candles get larger. Pullbacks get shallow. Your brain starts narrating. This is the move. This is where money is made. In that moment, your body is already reacting before you've made a single decision. Shoulders tighten. Breathing gets higher in the chest. Eyes lock onto the last candle. And the mind does what it always does under threat. It tries to collapse the future into certainty. You start projecting outcomes. You start pre-celebrating a trade you haven't taken. Or you start catastrophizing what happens if you miss it. Either way, You're no longer reading the market. You're reading your internal pressure. That's why the volatility protocol has to include a physical reset, not just a mental reminder. Here's a simple 3-step reset you can run every time volatility hits. Step 1. Sit back in your chair and exhale longer than you inhale, 3 times. Longer exhale signals no emergency to your nervous system. Step 2. Widen your vision. Literally. Look away from the center of the screen. Notice the edges. Notice the room. This breaks tunnel vision fast. Step 3. Ask one stabilizing question. What would I do if I wasn't allowed to take the next trade? That question forces you into context and removes urgency. If you can run that reset, you're already miles ahead, because most traders go the other direction. They lean in, tighten up, and speed up. Now let's talk about the most common volatility mistakes, so you can spot them early. Mistake 1 is late entry. Volatility makes you feel like you're early, but you're often late entering after the expansion is already extended. Your nervous system calls it opportunity. Reality calls it poor location. Mistake 2 is micromanagement. Fast candles make you manage every wiggle. You move stops. You cut winners early. You re-enter. You turn one trade into 5 decisions. That's how volatility drains you. Mistake 3 is double risk. Either you size up to feel like it's worth it, or you add to get back in control. Both are just attempts to reduce the discomfort of uncertainty. The fix is not to become fearless. The fix is to become procedural. Volatility traders don't have stronger emotions. They have stronger rules. And if you're not a volatility trader, that's not a weakness. It's self-awareness. Some of the best traders in the world make money by being selective and sitting out conditions that trigger them. One last practical tool. Create a volatility checklist that has to be true before you place an order. For example, I've done the 60-second buffer. I can state the context in 1 sentence. I know where I'm wrong before I enter. I'm at reduced size. I'm not trying to make the day in 1 trade. If you can't check those boxes, you don't trade. Simple. And here's the deeper benefit. When you follow a checklist, you teach your brain that safety comes from process, not from speed. Over time, volatility stops feeling like a fire drill. After the session, do 1 quick debrief. Not a novel, just 2 lines. Line 1. When volatility hit, my pattern was X. Describe your answer here. Line 2. Next time, I will do X. Describe your answer here. That's it. That's how you train. Small reps. Clear feedback. No shame. Here's the last piece. Volatility is not a market problem. It's a nervous system test. The market isn't asking, can you predict this? It's asking, can you stay yourself while this happens? When you can stay yourself, you stop being reactive. You stop taking trades to reduce anxiety. You stop treating each candle like a deadline. And you start making decisions from clarity again. So the next time volatility hits, remember, your first job is not to trade. Your first job is to return to neutral. Because the best trade you'll ever make in volatility is the trade you don't take while you're activated. That one decision compounds more than any runner ever will. If this resonated with you, hit that like button. Subscribe for more trading psychology and comment 1 word below. Chase, freeze, or manage. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.